All right, we are rolling. Well, Jon, thank you for joining me on the Do Big Things podcast. I really appreciate it. And yeah, you just completed the Javelina 100, so I can't wait to hear about it.
Well, it's always a fun race, and it's always a challenge for me to finish those things under 30 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not the fastest runner, and
You've done a lot of ultras, though.
I started 15 years ago, and then we just started racking them up. I've been running with a running partner for the whole time, Mike Wright, and
Oh,
he finished at 26:30 something, and
okay.
we've been running together for a long time.
So you just have a training buddy that you just run all these things with all the time?
Most of the races we run together. Yeah, we run
Okay.
at least 3 times a week,
Oh, cool.
Wednesday and Saturday.
Perfect. Sounds like
Yeah,
a good buddy.
a great buddy. He's a great buddy. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Well, what made you get into ultras?
Oh, I started running when I was 51, going a little life change, and I had run before, and it was a good way to let off steam and clear your mind, and it worked for me. And I was running at a high school track, and the gal says, "Hey, come join us at the track club on a Wednesday night," and off I went and started running marathons right away. I ran the Big Sur Marathon 3 months later, and
Oh, wow. 3 months later,
yeah,
you just jumped right in, man.
I dove right in. It was fun. And you got a lot of stuff going on, a big change in your life, so you just you bury yourself, and it helps out. It helped out a lot.
That's cool. That's
Worked
cool.
out, I did marathons for 3 years, and then another gal in the track club says, you really got to try trail running. So she coaxed me into running a local 50K, and after that was all I did was the trail races.
Yeah. Yeah. So you started out on the road, though.
I did start out on the road, yeah,
Okay.
because the track club was all about road racing in Boston and all that. And
For sure.
yeah.
Well, you live in California now. Where did you grow up?
In California, I grew up on the peninsula in Redwood City, just halfway between Santa Cruz and San Francisco, just about.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you said that you kind of went through a change, and when you started running, like a lifestyle change, like what was going on before, and why did you decide to pick up running?
Oh, because it was easy, and you're going through a separation, and you just need something to clear your mind. And I had run a little bit before, but not a lot. And I coached soccer for 10 years, and so I was pretty active. I've always been active because I work 5 days a week at the nursery, at least. And I just and I enjoyed it when I ran before, 10 years before, and then I turned my ankle and stopped running, and didn't start up again until I was 51. And I really enjoyed it at that time. And the more I ran, the better it was. The better, just clearer mind, and getting fit. And when you go out and run 10 miles anytime you want, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you can run 20 miles anytime you want. And you can do that. You can do that.
So did you just take up running because of the simplicity of it? Like, bicycling, you got to pay thousands of dollars for a bicycle. Running, you just basically need a pair of shoes. Is that kind of the way you looked at it?
Simplicity. And I was a swimmer forever.
Okay.
And I grew up in competitive swimming, but my right shoulder just doesn't swim anymore. So I run. And I do cycle too. I've been on a handful of bike tours in the last 10 years.
Oh, cool.
My new wife, Peggy. So
Nice.
I enjoy cycling too. It just takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it does.
It takes more time than you can go run 5 miles, you go run 10 miles, but cycling takes hours. And I prefer the faster. I got so much to do all the time. I don't have a whole day to devote to
I get
training,
I can relate. Yeah.
It's hard. You got to fit everything in.
That's true.
It's not easy. Yeah.
So what kind of bike touring do you and your wife do?
Well, we did Sierra to the Sea, goes from Tahoe to San Francisco.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah, 3 years and 3 times. And we did right across Iowa.
Oh, nice.
It's more of a beer drinking party, but
I've
it's
heard that.
still 70 miles a day, 60, 70 miles a day. And it's just a big party.
Yeah.
It's just a way to meet so many people. It was just, we love it. We're going to do it this year. We're thinking of doing it this year. We're actually going to do the Grand Yellowstone tour, but that got canceled as well. So
Okay.
yeah.
So these are like organized tours, right?
Right. They move your gear, they feed you. It's pretty sweet. You just have to get on your bike every morning.
Yeah, you got to get on the bike and ride 50 to 70 miles a day.
That's fun. That's fun.
That's cool. I did a similar tour down Wisconsin years ago. It was called the SAGBRA, I believe. I don't remember exactly what the acronym was for, but what it stood for. But I had heard that about Iowa, that it's just like one big party out there. Everybody gets pretty rowdy.
They do. It's what, 10, 15,000 people.
Whoa, that's crazy.
It's crazy, but it works.
Yeah.
It works. Yeah, I was surprised how well it worked.
Yeah. So they have semis like transporting your gear, right? So you just get to like a field at night, you pick up your stuff, you pitch a tent. Is that how it works?
That's how it works. Yeah.
Okay.
Get
So
your
you
stuff.
have
You get up in the morning, get your gear back together, go get breakfast, and go.
Yep. How many of these tours have you guys done?
I've only done those Ragbri twice and Sierra to Sea 3 times. I think she's a longtime cyclist. I think she did Sierra to the Sea over 20 times.
Wow. Okay.
She's and Ragbri, she's done a couple more times than I have.
But,
serious cyclist. I'm still learning.
Yeah. No, you're a runner. She's the cyclist. That's perfect. That's perfect. That works.
It works just fine. Yeah.
So it sounds like you have quite an athletic base, though. I mean, you've done soccer, you've done swimming. Have you been pretty physically fit and athletic your whole life?
Probably. But I smoked for a long time as a young man too.
Sure.
And when you're raising kids, you're not real active. You're just running your kids around town and raising 3 kids and keeping care of your household and adding on to the house and doing the garden and all that. It's I wasn't in the best of shape those years. Until I started coaching soccer, I got in better shape.
Okay.
I started running, I really got into good shape.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you been gardening for a long time? Is that a big passion of yours?
I'm not a true gardener. I like gardens. I don't like to garden that much. My garden is my nursery, where we have tens of thousands of plants, and I like that kind of success in a garden rather than
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been doing that sort of work for a long time?
Forever. That's all I've ever done.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. For 45 years is what I've done.
Wow. And you said you were growing like mainly flowers and plants. You said perennials.
Yeah, things like hostas and astilbes and pelargoniums and penstemons and all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. Wow, that's cool. Well, let's talk about your running. I mean, I took a look at your ultra sign up, and you've been doing these things for looks like 13 years now. You've been running for a long time. So
yeah,
you mentioned that you were into road racing, eventually got into trail running. Like, what was the transition all about? Why did you go from roads to trail?
It was much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
More fulfilling and
okay.
more peaceful. Just the competition was, it's not, you're not. I don't care for the competition you have in road racing. I don't need that. Sure. I was doing it for enjoyment, and
yeah,
I really like that about the ultra running community. There's no competition.
Yeah.
Even amongst the elites, you don't see it. You can't feel it like you do if you get up to the line at a marathon race. You get it's a nicer feel.
Yeah, it's a totally different vibe.
Yeah.
You know, road races, everyone is so focused on just, you know, their splits and just focused on themselves, I guess. And in trail running is just everyone, it's like a big community. Everyone's looking out for each other. It's just a totally different vibe.
Absolutely. In a marathon, a guy falls down and does anybody stop to help him? Hell no.
Yeah, it's true.
Lucky he doesn't get stomped to death, you know. So, trail run, you got 10 people helping you, you know. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. So I'm guessing your first trail race, was it a marathon or was it a 50K or what was the first one?
The 50K here in Santa Cruz is
Okay.
called the River Run, put on by Coastal Trail Runs.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
How did that race go?
That was terrible.
Perfect.
You had to run from Santa Cruz to Felton and back, and you run along the old railroad grade, and it's got a couple of really steep hills, and then just to make sure you're miserable, they send you off into the sand dunes twice, or you got to run 2 or 3K out and back in the sand dunes, which is just painful on your calves and your hamstrings, you know. And then you're immediately sent right back down a hill after that and up another hill. So
it's a tough one.
But the gal that conned me into doing it, she was there at the turnaround, so that was cool. She gave me a high five and a cold Gatorade when I got there, so that was quite sweet. That was
Nice,
good.
nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then did you come back to that race the next year or what was the next trail race? And, you know, were you just like hooked right away? Did you go home from that race and just get on the computer and start looking up races, or what was it like for you?
I think we did. I think Mike and I just started looking at every race we could get in the 50K world.
Yeah.
And we did that for a year, and then we got real brave and signed up for the American River 50 miler.
Ah, okay. And how did that go?
I was tough. You know, it's got that climb at the last 3 miles of the race. It's 1,500 feet and 2.5 miles or something like that. It's brutal.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, you know, it's good. I finished it. I didn't care. I would never cared that much about time. I just, you know, if I could do better the next time, that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Fine.
You just want to get out there and just get it done.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just go out and have a good day.
Yeah. Are you competing against yourself and your own time, or are you literally just in the moment the whole time, just enjoying the day?
Most of the time, I'm just enjoying the day. I
Yeah.
really like to try and do better, but I'm 66. I know I'm not going to be doing a whole lot better. You know, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Last year I was running Ordnance 100K, and I thought I was doing fantastic. I thought, oh boy, you know, I'll beat last year by maybe an hour. You know, I come in about the 50-mile aid station, and Peggy goes, "Oh, you're about 40 minutes past last year."
Oh no.
I ended up, I was dead last again, but I didn't care. They wait for me every year, so that's fine.
No kidding. Yeah. Yeah.
That's all right.
But yeah, but you're 66 years old and you're still running 100 milers. I mean, that is legit. There's not many 66-year-olds that are still out there doing it.
No, there's not. There's a handful of us, but you see that guy was 78 that finished Javelina this year?
Ah, no kidding. 78.
And a half.
Yeah. Wow.
He signed up for states next year.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Good for him.
Exactly.
I want to find out what that guy's eating and drinking, and like what he must be doing something right, man.
It's got to be those guys. I mean, this guy was never fast. I looked at his times. He's a lot like me, but there's those genetics, and those guys with the genetics that have it, and the rest of us are just runners.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you finished Javelina last place, and I don't want to like exploit that. In fact, I want to celebrate it because you're out there the longest. You're out there longer than anyone else. You're on your feet longer than anybody. You know, and these races aren't about finishing like as fast as you can. It's just about finishing. You know, finishing is what counts. Sure. So have you been in that position in other races where you were like the last person in, or what's that like?
Well, I've been there at the Ordnance 100K there at Fort Ord in Monterey. I think I've been the last 3 or 4 years dead last.
No kidding.
But I mean, there's a lot of people that drop out. So, you know, yeah, I finished last, but look how many people didn't drop out. So that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you're out there, are you fighting the cutoff times? Is that a big concern for you?
A lot of the time on the hundreds, I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're coming into aid stations and they're telling you that you're really close to the cutoff time, and then you just have to pick up the pace. And are you running scared? Are you stressed out, or what's that like?
No, I'm just trying my best.
Yeah.
No, you get really loopy too after, you know, I did Monument Valley and I did Zion, and they both gave you 34 hours to finish. So after 30 hours of running, you're pretty far down.
Yeah, you are.
It's like whatever you can do. I'm not stressing at that point. It's just,
yeah, good for you.
Hope you're gonna make it. You know?
Yeah, that's the right attitude. Just like, who cares? You know, I mean, this whole running thing is kind of stupid anyways. Like, you you can either run to be fit, or if you're doing these 100 miles long distances, it's kind of, it's not exactly good for you. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good attitude. Yeah.
It's just all fun of being out in the community and being there, and you get to spend that time, a lot of the time, in your head, and you can problem solve, or you can just clear your mind and go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the desert is great, and the forest is great. It doesn't really matter where you're at.
Are most of the races you're doing on the West Coast?
They are. I did try Kettle Moraine.
Oh, nice. I've done that one a couple times.
Yeah, I tried that 2019, and I've got this problem where my legs my quads just stopped working. I think it's my hip flexors, or I read an article about it. I'm not real sure, but first it was my left leg. It happened to me twice on States and a couple other races where the leg just stops working. And this on the Kettle Moraine, it was my right leg. I was doing great up to mile 30, and then I just couldn't drag my leg through. I was dragging my leg the whole time just to get to mile 50 to quit.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But that's a tough race. That's not that easy of a course.
No, it's a tough race, and it's usually really hot too. So the heat's usually a big factor for people. I used to live in Wisconsin, and I lived like an hour away from that Kettle Moraine course. So that was my first 100, and I've done it a couple times, and it's a tough one for sure, but it's a cool race.
Yeah, it's a very cool race. It was thunder and lightning when we were running it. It was
okay.
It was pouring rain. The mud was, halfway to your knees. It was tough. That was the easy part of the course. The last 40K is really rocky.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, the thing with that race is you go out and you run like 100 kilometers, and then you come back to the start, right where your car's parked, or right where your family is. You smell food cooking, and then you have to, talk yourself into going back out for another 50 kilometers or 40 kilometers or whatever it is.
Those are tough races. Javelina is tough like that. You see everybody on the cot and laying on the bed, they're drinking, they're eating, and you're going to go run another 40 miles.
Does your wife come out as a support crew to help you out at these things?
She does. She's been incredible. Nice. Every race, and she paces me the last 20 miles.
Oh, no kidding. Good.
Yeah, and she paces me on the 100Ks as well. So
wow, that's a good partnership.
Burgers. She brings me hot food. And
wow,
that's great.
That's cool.
I'm grateful.
And she paces you for the last 20 miles too, huh? Yeah. I'm guessing you're not moving super fast at that point. You're just trying to get it done.
Just trying to get it done. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. As a pacer, as her being a pacer, what are some of your favorite things about a pacer, about her pacing you?
Just the positive comments and the positive vibes of being being alongside me, telling me I can get it done. And that's not saying, no, you're way too slow. You're running 20-minute miles. You know, she's like, yeah, come on, let's go. We got it. We got this. We got this. We got it. It's been.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. She's been a great pacer.
That's cool. And this buddy of yours that you've been running with, it sounds like you've been running with him for years.
We've been running. We met at the track club. Yeah.
Okay. And do you sign up for all the same races?
We try to. He's run a number of other races without me. He's faster and far more capable of finishing. I think he's got 21 or 2200s, and he's only missed on one.
Wow.
His stomach just gave out on him, but
okay.
You know, he's done Zion, I think 3 or 4 times. I only finished it once, barely.
Okay.
Quite well on Zion.
Is he the same age as you?
No, he's 61. He's 5 years younger.
Okay. So he's got youth on his side.
He's got his body is he's got severe arthritis. Doctors tell him to stop running and he's going to kill himself, but he keeps running and he keeps on.
Yeah.
Defying the doctors.
Yeah. So you weren't able to finish Kettle Moraine? Was that a DNF?
That was a DNF. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Have you had a lot of DNFs?
Oh yeah, I think I've got 8 or 10 DNFs.
But you've got over 100 races though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's not really that bad.
Not too bad.
That's pretty awesome.
The only DNF I have is on a race other than 100 was at Miwok.
Oh.
I cut my hand open and broke my left hand mile. And by the time I got to mile 50, I couldn't hold my bottles anymore. So I had to bag it and go to the hospital.
How, from a fall?
2 falls. Yeah.
2 falls.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's always a story to every race. That's the cool thing about this sport. Like,
I still kick myself for not finishing the darn race, you know.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, I could have done it.
Yeah. You don't use a hydration pack? You use handhelds?
At that time, I was just running with handhelds. I hadn't bought a pack yet.
Okay. But use a pack now?
I started with a Nathan with the big bladder in the back, and that's too hot. Now I use the pack.
Yeah.
I like that. But I ran the first couple of laps at Javelina with bottles.
Okay.
And I switched to the pack at night.
Gotcha.
You can store more stuff. You can put all your extra lights and batteries and jacket and everything you might need in there.
Now, Javelina is kind of a Halloween race. Did you dress up at all? Were you in a costume?
I have not dressed up yet for Halloween.
You've done that race several times though, right?
4 years. And then I tried it in 2012, I think, and I DNF'd at 60.
Okay. Why'd you DNF that year?
Oh, I had no skin on the bottom of my feet. And once you take your shoes off and look at them, then you quit, you know. You don't look at them. I learned after that, you don't look at your feet.
Really?
Problem. Yeah.
You don't want to know what kind of damage is going on under there once you see it.
Exactly. You don't want to see all the, you just don't look.
What kind of shoes do you wear? Do you wear Hoka's?
I run in Brooks Cascadia.
Oh.
I have run in Hoka's for 2-3 years, but I ate them up. I didn't get very many miles out of them, and I stopped wearing them.
Yeah.
But I bought a pair of Hoka's this year to switch into after 3 laps at Javelina, but I switched into them after 2 laps, and it made a huge difference because
really,
the previous year my feet were so sore. It took me 7 hours to finish the last lap, and that hurt. My feet just were killing me. Brooks don't offer a lot of cushion.
Yeah.
I like the feel of feeling, all 5 toes on the ground. I like that feeling, and Hoka's kind of a floaty feel. You get used to it, but the cushioning really pays off for being able to run later in the race like that.
Yeah, really helps in those long distances.
Yeah, yeah.
When Hoka first came out, I remember I bought a pair of the Mafates, and it was their trail shoe, and I got over 1,000 miles out of those shoes. Like when they first came out, they were just solid, and you could get so many miles out of them. And I think that they realized that, and that's not how a company really makes money. So I don't know if they purposely cheapened up the shoe, and now I'm lucky to get 500 miles out of a pair.
I was not getting 300 miles out of Hoka.
No kidding.
I'm rough on shoes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you feel like your body breaking down, like knee pain and stuff coming in? Is that when you know you need a new pair of shoes, or how do you know when your shoes are done? 300 miles isn't really all that much.
No, I get more than that. Not a whole lot with the Brooks shoes, but I just look at the shoe and you can see when it's collapsed. And
yeah.
The heel starts is shaved off on one side.
Mm.
I tend to shave off the outside of both heels.
Okay.
So, and if we do long runs, last 5 miles of a 25-mile run, I'll be dragging my feet. So, but you got to do that kind of stuff to stay racing, and you can't do it in a pair of old shoes because it'll hurt you.
That's true. Yeah.
It's work. You just got to pay.
Do you use trekking poles?
I have not yet. No, we thought about it, but I have not tried them yet.
Okay.
We're gonna. I think we took them to Kettle Moraine, but I don't recall. I don't remember if I used them or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you said you went to Western States. Did you finish that one?
No.
You didn't?
No, I got to Michigan Bluff twice, 2 different times.
Oh, twice.
I had the same leg problem.
No kidding.
Yeah, yeah. And,
what was wrong?
When I go to put my left leg down, the knee just collapsed.
Oh, okay. Well, that's disappointing.
It is.
2 Western States is such an iconic race. Everyone wants to finish that one, but if you're injured, you're injured. You can't do anything about it.
It's not like it's an injury. The next day I'm fine, or even 2 hours later I'm fine.
That sucks even worse.
I read on I Run Far, I forget whose column it is, Joe Yuhan. It's a hip flexor because your hip flexors are weak and unstable.
Okay.
It causes that series of muscles to stop firing.
Yeah. Do you do anything to keep your body strong to work on those hip flexors, or do you do any stretching or any sort of strength training or anything?
I do not. I do a little bit of stretching on the floor here, but not a lot.
Okay. So pretty much just running.
Running, and I do a lot of physical work as well. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't lift weights or anything like that.
Okay.
No gym workouts, so to speak.
So what's your secret? You're 66 years old. You're still running. You're still running hundos.
I'm lucky. And determined.
And determined. Yeah. Well, it takes a little bit of stubbornness to get these things done.
It does. It really does.
Yeah. Where does that determination come from? Is that something you've always had?
Something I think I've always had. Yeah.
Really? Okay. Like, is there other things in life that you're as determined with?
Sure. I guess my nursery work, it takes stubbornness to do it. It's all a labor of love.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's getting rich in the nursery business. I like ultra racing.
Right.
But you just you go out and do it, and do it every day, and work all day, and keep your doors open, and just come back year after year and keep doing it.
Yeah. Do you have helpers? Do you have people that work for you?
I do. I have 14 employees. So.
Oh, 14. Okay. So you're not doing it all yourself.
Oh, no, I don't. And I do a lot less than I used to, but I still am out there working with the crew, and we plant and load trucks and work on things and refilm the greenhouses and all that kind of stuff. We have to do all that
Sure.
work.
Yeah. So what's your training look like? Are you running big miles every week, or like for someone at age, like I've noticed just in the last 10, I'm 45, and just in the last 10 years, I've noticed that if I go out and do a big run now, sometimes I need 2 rest days afterwards. Rather back in the day, I could just get by with 1 rest day. You know, what does it look like for you at your age? Do you feel yourself getting older? Do you feel like it's getting tougher?
A little bit. Yeah, if I go out and run, we have on the west side of Santa Cruz, we have a run we do. It's 26 miles. It's up through a park and then through UCSC, and it comes back down to, it starts at a bakery and ends at a brewery is what we tell people. So it's a good run. And we used to be able to do that and then run 10 or 15 miles the second day. We haven't done that in a long time.
Okay.
But we often go run an 18 mile in Nicene Marks Park here down the road, and we'll go back and run 6 or 8 the following day.
Okay.
So,
and are you taking rest days after those 2 back-to-back days?
we always run on Monday nights regardless. So we run Monday, Wednesday nights, and at least Saturday now.
Okay.
Not Sunday as well.
Is it just you and your buddy, or is it a big group of people?
It's just us. There's no other ultra runners that were in the track club, and there's just not a lot of ultra runners in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
It's surprising. There's a ton of mountain bikers. Boy, that's huge right now.
Yeah, sure.
That work there too.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. I'm in Boulder, Colorado, and mountain biking is just huge out here. It's a fun sport. Have you ever done much mountain biking?
Not a lot. No, I have not. No.
Yeah. I mean, it can be dangerous too. You're out there on that rough terrain. I mean, it seems like every mountain biker I know has had several broken clavicles. So
yeah.
It's like running safer, I guess.
It can be.
Have you had some pretty
shoulder?
Have you had some injuries?
I have, yeah.
Really? From falling?
From falling. Yeah.
Really? Have you had some nasty falls?
Pardon?
Have you had some nasty falls?
I've had some nasty falls, yeah.
What are some of the worst ones?
Oh, probably the worst ones was it where I fell down and cut my hand open on a piece of rebar that was holding up some stairs, and then 20 miles later, I fell on my left hand and broke that hand. That was probably the first time. That was probably the worst. I was running in the park one night, pretty dark, and I fell down and separated my shoulder.
Ugh.
8 o'clock at night. That was at 8 o'clock. So at 9 o'clock, I'm at the hospital. That's probably one of the worst.
So you've been through it.
I've been through it. Yeah. I've fallen down and twisted my ankle pretty bad, but
yeah, it's all part of it, right?
All part of it. It's a lot better than falling off your bike. I know that.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So, do you have like an average that you're running every single week as far as miles, or do you go by time, or what do your weeks look like?
I try to, especially for 100, I try to average 35 to 40 a week, regardless.
Okay.
For hundreds, I was trying to get my average at 50 to 60.
Oh, okay.
For 3 months before Javelina.
Oh, for 3 months.
A good taper, of course, but
how long is your taper?
3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've kind of got it all mapped out. You kind of know what you're doing at this point.
I think so. It's we have Mike and I have a pretty good routine, and it works well for us.
Have you ever used the coach or anything like that?
No, I haven't.
No. Yeah. Just kind of running on feel.
On feel, and we you talk to people at races. You've got the Ultra Running Magazine, and I Run Far, and trail runner, and you can glean a lot of information from those.
Totally.
And so many of the runners are so approachable that you could talk, you can walk up and, you know, and talk to any of the elites practically, and they'll answer your questions. It's not like they're Barry Bonds or anything, or they're just like they're above everybody. They're just nice guys.
Yeah. Yeah. That's trail running right there. Like
It
you can
is.
walk right up to the elites and you can ask them questions and advice, and they'll just break it down for you. They're not trying to hold on to that advice and keep it all secret for themselves. Like, you know, you find in other sports.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I've run a number of races with Earl Jones, and we always start out together, you know, the first half hour, 45 minutes, we're talking the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. Let's say,
That's cool.
ask him what he did at 66, and ask him what he did as a young man, you know, and it turns out he used to take off way too fast and try and beat the whole pack, and then learn to run at a pace that was sustainable through the whole race. You just have to learn that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Is that how you look at a race? Like, are you really trying to pace yourself? Do you know sort of where you fit into the pack and you start slow, or do you, like most runners, do you take off a little bit too fast, a little too excited?
I don't get excited, but I always feel that the first part of the race is as fresh as you're going to be. And I kind of look at it as maybe I can bank a few miles.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know at the end of the race, I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to be able to make up any time. Although Javelina there in the last 3.5 miles, I did made up some time. I was able to run a lot of that, especially the last half mile or so at least. I was able to sprint that, which was
Wow,
pretty incredible. But yeah, I usually start out pretty fast, but not. You know, I'm not running 6-minute miles, 7-minute miles. I'm not running 8-minute miles. I'm running 10-minute miles, which is for me is sustainable for the first 20 at Javelina, and then the second 20 I might be at the 13-minute miles, that's what I'd want to do.
Yeah.
After that, it's who knows.
For sure. Well, it's amazing what the human body can do. And like you said, you know, you sprinted the last half mile at Javelina. You're out there for 30 hours and then somehow you still are able to rally.
Right.
It's just amazing what the human body can do.
I am so impressed with people like the Jester and Catra. You know, you read the magazines and all the elites get all the write up, you know. The Jester had over 700 race miles in October.
Whoa, 700 race miles.
He had 740 race miles in October.
That's insane.
and he was there at the finish when I finished.
Wow.
Shaking everybody's hand. That was cool.
That's cool. Impressive. Yeah. Wow.
But I just think that so many people don't know what they can do.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah.
Maybe they're afraid they don't know, but
yeah,
a lot of people can do.
I think about that a lot too. Like, you know, when I first ran my 100-mile, my first 100-mile, I didn't feel special because I finished it. I just felt like, you know, anybody can do this who wants it, because I'm not any gifted athlete by any means. I just, you know, trained for this thing and went out and got it done. Is that how you look at it as well?
That's how I look at it. And that's what I tell people. You can do it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Like anybody can do it if they want to, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just, it takes some time and some effort and a little sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes some broken fingers, you know.
Par for the course, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, but you've got over 100 races in the last 13 years. I mean, so how many races are you averaging a year?
Well, for a while I was doing 6 or 8 or more.
Wow.
This year we only got 2 races in.
Sure. Because of COVID.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're obsessed with this thing?
No, I don't think I don't think it's obsession. I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Very willing to continue to train and
Sure.
pay for the travel and the race entries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the racing that you enjoy and the camaraderie and the atmosphere of the races?
It's kind of all of it. I think it's
Yeah.
all of it. Yeah.
I mean, do you enjoy running by yourself as well?
I do enjoy running by myself. Yeah, I really do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's
I can
just all
tell.
fun.
Yeah, yeah, it's all fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any dream races or anything that's still on your list that you want to do?
Oh goodness, I don't know. So I'd like to go back and finish Pine to Palm, but because I didn't finish it, but I think that one's beyond me. They pulled me at the Dutchman's Peak. I had less than 10 minutes over the cutoff. They pulled me, and that was like mile 63, and I really like to go back and finish that race.
Okay.
That's a tough race. That's
Yeah.
a tough race.
Yeah, for sure. How does it feel being pulled from a race like that? Like, everyone's worst nightmare is sort of coming in last place when they're looking at a race. Like, I don't want to be the last place guy, but like I said, I'm here to celebrate you coming in last. Like you're out there longer than anybody. You're on your feet longer than anybody. It's and here in Colorado, I've got a buddy who's a race director, and all of his races, first place doesn't get any prizes. It's the last place people that get the prizes.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, but what's it like being pulled from a race? Is it a big letdown, or do you just look at it as, whatever, it's just another day?
Oh, at first it was a big letdown, especially the Western states twice, and then I got pulled from San Diego. That was a letdown. I really wanted to finish that race, but since then I've kind of gotten over it. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
finish. I got 80 miles, I got 90 miles, or I got whatever. That's fine. That's cool.
I mean, it's still pretty impressive. If you
Yeah,
can do 80 or 90 miles, that's nothing to sneeze at,
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to go somewhere. You got to go to Wisconsin, and that was cool. My wife's from Wisconsin, so I got to see Wisconsin.
Oh, cool. Where's she from?
Outside of Milwaukee, there.
Okay.
Okay. Whitefish Bay.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
Right.
Yep. I'm from Janesville, so I'm like an hour and a half from Milwaukee.
Oh, you're out there where they wrote the story about the Chevy plant. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. You got it. You got it. General Motors town.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, so
What
really,
made you move to Wisconsin?
what was that?
What made you move out of Wisconsin?
I was running ultras in Wisconsin and really just getting into them and enjoying them. And, I'm reading all these magazines and looking at all these people running in mountains, and I just had a real draw to the mountains, and just a love and affinity for them that I couldn't really describe or explain. And I just knew I had to move out here. So came to Colorado about 7 years ago and been here ever since, out here just running mountains as much as I can, almost every day.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. It's fun. So no real dream races for you. It's just like you want to go back and check a couple off the bucket list that you gave a stab at and weren't able to finish.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Mountain Lakes. I was signed up for Mountain Lakes, and I know a lot of the area burned this year and canceled the race because of COVID. And turns out that the fire. I'd like to try and do that race, even if a part of it's burned next year. It looked like a fun race. But no, I don't have any races in particular. Vermont might be kind of fun. That's iconic, race. But I got to look at what I can finish too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, got to be smart about it.
Got to be realistic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'll go back and do Javelina again next year.
Okay, good.
Get my 5-year jacket. That's cool.
There you go. Nice. I like it. So like, how many of these races have you been pulled from because of a time cutoff? quite a few of them, or
9 or 10, probably.
9 or 10? Okay.
Yeah.
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 And how many races have you finished that you were just so close to the cutoff at the end?
Only one other race. It was probably 19 minutes. That was Rio del Lago, but I was definitely last. I mean, they had put away the tables and folded up the tent, and they were ready to go home.
Right.
We sprinted the last 5 miles of that one too.
Wow.
But that's the only other race that I had that cut off that tight that I
Okay.
had to sprint on.
So yeah, I saw a couple pictures of you at the finish of Javelina, and they're just like beautiful pictures that just capture the moment. It's like, those, they say a picture has carries 1,000 words, and it's like those pictures really told a story. Like, I see tears, I see other people just with their mouths agape. And I mean, what was it like for you? I mean, you said that you sprinted the last little bit. I mean, were you completely exhausted and done at the end and then somehow rallied, or what was it like for you the last few miles?
Yeah, I was exhausted. I was trash. I had they had bad water out there at Jackass, and I got bad water after the start of the third lap, when I went out there at the third lap, and the water was so bad that I couldn't eat anything. And you don't think. I just kept on running with the bad water in my bottles and not drinking and not eating. And I didn't clean my bottles out. And I went back out to Jackass again after I got fresh water and got more bad water and still wasn't eating. So it's just one of those things. You get so bogged down, and you get a little negative on yourself, and you just keep plodding along. And I wasn't running a whole lot of it at that point until Peggy picked me up and we started running what we could on the last lap.
Did she get you fired up? Did she tell you, look, the clock's ticking, we got to move fast?
Yeah, because when I had called her and said I'm not doing very good here, and borrowed somebody's phone at Rattlesnake and said, hey, I'm not doing very good. I'm going to come in and see what we can do. And she grabbed me right away and said, let's go. We got to go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We didn't move all that fast, I got to admit, but we got through it. And
sure.
She got me in a position where I could finish the race, which was fantastic.
Are you like looking at your watch, like really nervous about that time as you're running into the finish with like 1 mile, 2 miles to go?
I was, and I didn't know how accurate my watch was, whether I had an extra minute or two, or I was shy, or if I was behind. So I was just making it going as fast as I could. I kind of stopped looking at my watch and just put my head down and went as fast as I could.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, the miles or yards went by at such a nice pace. I was so happy that it seemed a lot shorter than it should have been.
Sure. Would you have been able to run a couple more miles at the end if Javelina just happened to be 102 miles? Did you have anything left?
I had a little bit left. Yeah, I did. I think I had enough adrenaline at that point, but I don't know.
Yeah. Is that what you attributed to, like adrenaline at that point?
Yeah, I do. You want to finish so bad, you want it so bad that you're going to do that. And why I didn't do it before, or the lap before, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes in a race you get down and you say, it's like, oh, I can't do this. What'd you sign up for this for?
Yep. How did you celebrate afterwards?
Well, we went and sat down and had a nice cold beer.
There you go.
Nice. It was perfect.
Nice. Did you eat a big meal afterwards? Did you just find a bed and go to sleep, or what was it like?
We went back to the hotel and got cleaned up and took a nap, and then we had a nice Mexican dinner.
Okay, perfect.
A little Mexican restaurant there in Fountain Hills.
Okay.
by the sports bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you attend the award ceremony?
I did not, no.
No. Okay. Did you get a special award though for being last place?
I got the Grim Reaper. Yes, I did.
Is that what it is? The Grim
Yeah.
Reaper? The coveted, right? Somebody's got to get it.
Oh, it says coveted Grim Reaper. All right. Yeah, we're getting it delivered here right now. Here you go.
Is that right?
That's right. There it is.
Wow. All right. That's really cool.
Yes, it's quite cool, isn't it?
Wow.
Not my first DFL, but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, good on you, man. I mean, that's just fantastic. Did you have a bunch of races that were canceled this year due to COVID?
I did. I had the Marin Ultra Challenge, the 50 miler in the Marin Headlands, and Born to Run Ultra is a 100 miler in down in Southern California, and Skyline 50 mile or 50K, Headlands 50 mile.
Wow, bunch of them.
And Mountain Lakes, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Were most of them rollovers? Are you able to do them next year?
Most of them, if they have them, yeah.
If they have them, yeah. No kidding.
Yeah. Marin County is really tight on their restrictions, and we'll see.
Yeah, I think a lot of these races are just going to disappear, unfortunately. Some of these race directors are barely making ends meet, just trying to keep these races alive, and 1 year is enough to kill them.
Exactly, and if they don't run the races and they got my money, so what? You know?
Yeah, right.
Whatever. They need it more than I do.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think those that can have the race will do it. They'll. Let's hope. Yeah. Let's hope.
Yeah. What does next year look like for you? Are you already signed up for anything?
Well, I signed up for Mountain Lakes if they run it, and Headlands 50 mile if they can hold it, and whenever he wants to try and do it in January, but I don't know if it'll happen.
Okay.
And Born to Run Ultras also.
Okay. And you're looking at Javelina as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I get a rollover from Skyline 50K in outside of Oakland also. So I already got 4 or 5 races for next year. So.
Nice. Nice.
We'll see.
How many more years do you have left in you? Do you feel like you look ageless? Do you feel ageless? Do you feel like you could just go forever?
No, I'm lucky. I don't know if I can go for forever. I'll take every year.
Yeah. Yeah. When's it time to stop? Is it ever like, how does that look for you? Like if you just can't run anymore, or what does it look like?
Probably a discomfort. I think it's a discomfort.
Yeah. Do you have much discomfort at this point, or are you still feeling pretty good?
I still feel pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, I had a hamstring problem last year that nagged me all year, but it seems like it's cleared up.
Okay.
That's yeah. If I was to get something like that just wouldn't go away, I'd maybe turn more towards cycling.
Yeah. Cycling just doesn't quite do it like running does, though, huh?
It doesn't quite do it, but on a bike tour, I got to admit, it does do it. I really enjoy the bike tours.
They're a lot of fun.
They are.
Yeah.
Especially the longer days, and I like that. I really like that. I like the endurance piece.
Do you find those challenging, putting up that kind of miles day after day after day? I mean, when you're getting into 5-6 days, do you find it challenging?
I do. It's tough. It seems to get easier though on the 4th and 5th and 6th day.
Really?
You just get into better shape.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're getting stronger at that point?
Yeah, I do.
No kidding. Yeah. Wow. That's cool.
I'm not fast. I know I'm not fast. I don't pedal that fast, but
sure. Yeah. But you're out there, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, listen, Jon, it's been really cool talking to you, man. This is just a pleasure for me. And I love hearing, the backstory to those beautiful photos of you at the finish. They're just fantastic. So I'm super glad that you made it. And you got a story to tell now. So it's pretty cool, man.
Well, thank you, Adam. Thank you. And yeah,
Absolutely.
very, very, very fortunate and grateful for it.
Yeah, good for you. See, you got the right attitude. That's the right way to look at it. You just have to be grateful for any time that you have out there, grateful for every day. And I mean, when you have that attitude, you can just go forever.
I hope so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
hope so.
Yeah. Good for you. Well, Jon, thanks so much, man. We'll keep an eye on you next year. We'll be cheering for you. And, hopefully you'll be a little bit ahead of where you were this year so that it's not quite so stressful.
Exactly. I'll hope to hand the Reaper off to somebody else.
No, hang on to that thing. That's that's beautiful right there. That's like a first place trophy. To me, it's like almost as good.
Okay.
Cool, Jon. Well, listen, thanks so much. I appreciate you talking to me. And yeah, we'll be looking for you in the future. Just keep doing big things.
I sure will. Thank you, Adam. I'll look for your podcast out there.
I'll let you know when it's out, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Jon. We'll see you.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.